so you understand the difference. That's correct, right? That's how you said.
That's
Obrigado.
I thought you were born in Brazil.
El celular. That's probably what it is. All right. So the idea would be that you put your name and you click on join. Then you'll have a buzz button, and you'll be able to buzz in at the right time. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it. Anybody else need more time, or you guys have all figured out how to do that? We'll go back and do it a different way.
Do we
Yes,
answer questions in the form of a question? Like
Yes,
Jeopardy?
absolutely. So it is Jeopardy. So let's just go back. So we're going to do that in just a second. We'll go ahead and see the answers, and you have to give me the question in a form of a question. I guess the answers to the questions you'll see in that. Me and Jeannie talked about, well, the three organizers talked about having a pre, but I didn't have enough time. I got inundated with a bunch of releases, especially when your boss wants to release on Saturdays because the other days are all taken up by other releases. I know something's wrong, but you can understand that we're going a little bit busy. This is your regular board. These are the different categories. We're going to have our new co-organizer select the category. We'll start by that. Since you have the board, Mrs. Jeannie, would you be able to choose a category that's at the very top? I will then choose a number, and then the second I choose the number, not ahead because it will actually block you, you can actually go ahead and answer by buzzing in. Once you buzz in, you'll be able to simply talk, and if you give the right answer, I'll give you the points. If you don't, I'll press on a button. You'll see it in just 1 second. It's a little sad button. Sorry, Gene, didn't have enough time to remove it. This does not mean we're sad with you. It just means it gives somebody else the answer, the chance at that second to answer that question. All right, Mrs. Jeannie, why don't you go ahead and choose one of the categories that's your favorite?
Vanilla.js, I'm thinking.
Vanilla.js is a good one. Do we use 1 to 100, 200, 300, 400? Let's start with an easy one at 100. So Vanilla.js for 100. The answer is this is the best JavaScript meetup group in Florida. Go ahead and click anytime. Oh, Germbo has decided to answer. What would be the right answer? There is no wrong answer, although there's pretty bad answers.
What is Miami PHP?
Miami PHP is wrong. Oh, let me show you. Oh, thank you. That's why. Oh, Todd's going to answer. What is the best JavaScript meetup? And I said JavaScript, not some kind of school meetup or something like that, in South Florida. In Florida.
What is Florida.js?
That's the right answer. So Todd gets 100 points. That's fantastic. This is how it works. We're going to come up with the right answer. And my two judges, and in fact, I love if every one of you guys start bickering about the right answer. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. So I am the judge, but I'm very flexible. And for the right amount of money, cash underneath the table, I will let you answer whatever it lands on. So I want Todd for you to choose one category and then choose your number. It's all your table, Todd.
Let's go CSS for 300.
CSS for CSS. Very fancy, Todd. Now this is something that most of the front end and back end developers do not like, but we have an answer. This is how you select a div by ID. How do you do that in CSS? Todd, super fast with the answer, and the answer is Todd.
With the hash or pound sign.
What are you, jQuery? This is not jQuery. This is CSS. The hash or pound sign? Oh yeah, you're right. It is right.
What is a hash or pound sign?
Thank you, Jeannie. I'm going to call that a judge saying you did not. Did you say it?
No, I did.
That's rewind.
Are we going to give it to her, Jeannie?
I'll give it to him.
We're going to give it to you, Todd. That's fantastic. This is
know,
how easy it is.
Some money under the table.
There is some money under the table. The difference is there's a break.
I think
I have
she just got a Venmo from Todd.
Ding. She was trying to hit the buzzer, but my Venmo alerts kept popping up.
So as you guys can see, do me a favor, Todd. By the way, Todd, you're going to be extra at this. Give everybody else a chance to answer. So, but I do want you to choose one of the questions. Which is the next question, Mr. Todd?
I had said before CSS for 300, but you're only starting at 100.
On the solo, I apologize. I heard you say 100. Perhaps I haven't been doing this long enough. Let's go CSS for 300. Would that be okay?
There we go. There we go.
CSS for 300. This is how we center a content of a div. Enrique from Brasilia.
Justified text center and works just as well.
This was a trick question because there is no way to do it. There is no way to center horizontally or vertically in CSS. Nobody's able to do it unless they Google it. So this we will give it to you. But the right answer is I don't know. I just Google it.
No, I give it to Mariella and she does it.
Yeah, exactly. That was an absolutely acceptable answer. No, so that's fantastic. Enrique, just for the fact that you answered correctly, you have the board. What would you like the category and the price?
Well, I'm gonna do one for you. We're gonna do Angular for 100.
Oh, Angular for 100, the easy one. This is the name of what an old Angular was before, since it's called 2.0. Jeremy.
Oh.
What is crack.js?
Crack.js is correct, but only because of the fact that he's the judge and he's allowed to say that. Normally, I would say that's absolutely wrong. James, what do you think? Is that the right answer?
I'm sorry, what?
Is crack.js the correct answer to... oh, by the way, that was not in the form of a question, so I'm not going to give it to you. Sorry.
Yes, it was.
Did you say? What is crack.js?
First of all, yes, it was.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. Then we should give it to...
He did.
All right,
Yeah,
buzz
he
it.
should get it. Jeremo should get it.
All right. Crack.js, we will accept it only because of the fact that he's one of the judges, so he can go there. The correct answer actually we're looking for was AngularJS. Imagine, that's the new one's called Angular.
I it out.
Have you?
Yeah,
refresh.
Back out to the join screen.
Too many answers will be that. Now, just to let you know, and we'll look at this in just 1 second, we are not keeping track of your price, of your totals in there. So I'm going to go ahead and check over here. Enrique's at 300, Todd's at 200, only because of the fact that we chose 100 twice, Todd, and Jeremy's at 100. So, I think it was it was
back in.
Yeah, please. If you got kicked out, we're still trying to. I think you're right. When we did the test, the server is completely down, so I thought it was the server. It was not the server. It was the fact that apparently I've coded a bug. Silly me. All right, Jeremy, you answered the last one. What would you like to do next one?
Is this an Angular app?
This is not an Angular app. I will show it to you. This is a crappy ass vanilla JS, as silly as you can think about. I'll show it to you.
For that, we should Jeremy, we should go with vanilla.
All right.
Let's do vanilla for 200.
Vanilla for the most popular JS library even today. Jeannie, I like that. I think you know the answer to this one.
What is
It-
jQuery?
It struggles, Jeannie, to say it, but she says the right answer. What is jQuery is the right answer. The most popular JS library at 70% of the whole internet. And I don't mean websites that don't actually work. I mean websites like Yahoo still use it. Maybe that's maybe I said the wrong
That's
thing.
probably not the right.
That's the right
But
thing. You're
not by
absolutely
weekly
right.
Downloads. Not by weekly downloads.
Correct. A lot of people seem to download it and never do anything with it because they're still running jQuery. Jeannie, you have the board. Which one would you like to choose?
Let's try programming for 400.
For programming for 400, I heard. This is the type of plant that is made of zeros and ones. James for the answer. I like that. Larry, go ahead, James. Tell me what kind of plant, in quotes, I'm making a pun here, is made of zeros and ones.
That's exactly what my question's gonna be. Okay, what are
zeros and ones? The number's less than 2.
Oh, you're so close. He's so close.
Yes, you have
What
it.
is a binary code? He's so close.
Let's see that again. It's a plant. So, Larry, do me a favor. Go to game on your phone or on a new tab. Larry, go to game.bocajs.org as Todd is showing us. On your phone or on a tab, go to game.bocajs.org. you'll be able to enter your name, Larry, and press get a buzzer button. Game.bocajs.org. James, we're very, very close here. It's a type of a plant. Starts with binary.
Oh, can I answer again?
Yes,
Go ahead.
you have it.
What is a binary tree?
Binary tree is exactly right. That's right. These jokes don't write themselves. They're actually thought out. Just not that very good. You have the board, Mr. Larry. Are you still working on getting the buzzer?
You had the roots, Damien. You had the roots of a good joke. You know, it just
It just didn't flourish. It just didn't grow. I needed to water it some more.
Of course, with trees, they don't grow nodes.
Exactly. Nice, nice. I like that. That's very good. That's very good. So game.bocajs.org, Larry. Now, James, you have the board. What would you like to try next?
Let's see. How about CSS for 200?
CSS for 200. Excellent choice. This is how we select a div by class. Enrique. Oh, yeah.
It is the same way you select anything else by a class?
That is correct. I like that answer. That is absolutely. Are we going to give them to him? Jeannie, Jeremy?
He's pushing it with that one.
He's pushing it, but he's pushing in the right direction here.
In the right direction.
At the right direction. We're
It's
going to.
the same way you select anything else by a class. Why does it have to be a div?
Well, I was trying to help you out with the answer. How do you select something, an element by class in CSS?
All right. With
I
a
mean,
period-
technically, his answer is correct.
All right. That's exactly right. Well, so wonderful. Larry, did you get the game.bocajs.org working? You can shake your head or nod. That works too. I love it. Thank you very much. So once you enter your name, you'll be able to buzz in once
That
I've
way
read
we
the
can-
question.
That way
So-
we can hear the rattling.
Yes, I like
So we
that.
can hear the rattling.
Enrique, you have the board here, mister. What would you like?
I will do React for 100.
React for 100, getting it into. This is the company that created React.js. Todd,
What is Zuckerberg book?
Zuckerberg book is correct. That is the old name of Facebook, so we're going to take it. So, by the way, is everybody enjoying this? Is it a little bit stupid, a little bit interesting? Afterwards, we'll look at the code and see exactly what's going on. So imagine, this is the entertaining part. Comes the next boring part. Mr. Todd.
This needs to be done on a Friday, and I need a couple beers. But
Dude, you're doing fantastic at what? I don't
Let's
know.
go-
Yes,
Let's go
Todd.
React for 400.
Let's go React for 400, getting it serious. This is one of the common React hooks. Germbo.
What is use effect?
Use effect. I have zero knowledge of, of React, so I'm going to rely on Jane and Jeannie and Todd, and we're getting a yes, so that's exactly right.
And I'm telling you that's correct. I am.
That's a good point. You are also the judge, so we're
That's
going to
the
give it to you as
second
well.
most common.
Ah, nice. I
That's
did say
the
one
second most
of,
common.
not the. So,
Let's
Mr.
do-
Jeremy, it's your board now.
Let's do.
My wife
programming for
just
500.
said I'm the second most common hook.
Oh.
That was her comment.
Was that like
I
a
don't know
diss
if her
or a love?
judgment
Was that a like, oh damn, or is it like, oh that's cute? Which one is it? Because I don't know much about
It was meant
React.
to be an oh damn, but
Uh
I'm
huh.
not sure.
But are you going to take it as oh cute? Very good. That's how React works. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other, and it's all three combined, like CSS, JavaScript, and HTML. I think it was Jeremy that has the board, right? Who answered? Yeah, it was Jeremy.
Programming for 500.
Programming for 500, taking
Programming
it 500.
500.
down. Fancy. He wants the numbers. What is the worst question a programmer can be asked at an interview? Todd.
Oh, at an interview?
What is this one?
What does this mean? Like, is it like
No,
what the
I
word
was-
is?
What is this question?
What is this question? I love this.
But
That's
yeah.
just fantastic. But and you're right. People will be like, "Is there anything you want to know about us as a company?" And your answer should always be, "Do you pay in cash or Bitcoin?" Because all I'm here for is the money. Thank you, Todd. I love that answer. What do we have as far as your next choice here, Mr. Todd? I'm going to go into my
let's
Game
go.
Boys.
Let's go Vanilla JS for 300.
Vanilla JS for 300. This is how you answer how to add two numbers in jQuery. Really? Todd.
Just-
That's a trick question.
It is a true question.
It's
Yes.
dollar sign, parentheses.
Yes.
You point to the div with the number in it, plus dollar sign,
You,
parentheses.
you,
and
you, you are
div
overthinking.
with the other number.
The answer we're looking for is you don't, you dumbass. But we will take that answer as a good one. But you're absolutely right. That would have achieved the goal. But one of the very famous things on Stack Overflow is how do you add two numbers in jQuery? And there's a long list of people that will try to answer it completely in jest. Mr. Todd,
Right.
it's your board. Which one would you like?
I am one of those people.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
say Angular for 400.
Let's go for Angular with 400. This is the type of class we use to connect to APIs. Yes, James.
Okay, how about div? This is a type of class we use to connect to AI. So
Yes.
what is an HTTP client?
A HTTP client is the method that we use. The class. I see what you're going there. This is absolutely right, James. We're looking more like not the model view controller. There's something else that we use.
Oh.
But you're right. We use the HTTP class, which is one of the classes that are built into JavaScript, into Angular.
What is low class?
Low class, I like it. It's actually called a service. But I'm going to give it to James because he told me exactly how to do it in Angular. And so I like that. Thank you very much, James. James, it is your board. Did you guys have any questions about that? By the way, that's the problem with being games. I can't stop and go, well, actually, Mr. Professor says, that's why I'm wearing these slacks.
You gotta push your glasses up like this.
Well, actually, to be precise, Mr. James, it is your board. What would you like to do?
Okay, let's see. Let's go for CSS for 400.
Being a CSS man. This is the
Well done
CSS
again.
layout that rhymes with the fox. Todd.
What is socks?
Socks is even close. Not even close. I like where you're going there, though. It does rhyme with fox. What socks? Germbo.
That's how you connect to an API.
What is Flexbox?
I like that. We're gonna go ahead and take that. Flexbox is what we're looking for, or any kind of box at all. But Fox was not one. Is that what it is? Is box socks? Sockets? Is that what you were going for? Mr. Jambo. Oh, I'm having a bad internet connection.
Socks and box.
Yes. So, can you guys still hear me? I was notified I have a bad connection.
Well, this is going to be awkward.
I can hear you guys. Can you guys hear me?
Silence.
Yeah,
Intermission.
well, I mean,
Hello.
Somehow this is Larry's fault.
This is not Larry's
gotta
fault.
be
Can you guys hear me? Guys, I think you're pretending to not to hear me, because I can hear me.
We hear three of you.
Jernbo, it is your turn. Which is the board you'd like?
Programming for 200.
Let's go with programming for 200. Can you still hear me?
bing, bing, and it's a daily double.
It is a daily double. This is a loop that comes after 3.
Hello?
Click. There's no O. There's only clicking. This is a simple one. I'm going to have to answer it for you guys. Are you guys still on?
I'm clicking it, but it's not.
I'm pressing. It's
No. Really?
Yeah, I've pressed several times.
Refresh.
Got a
Refresh.
buzz in your name.
Yeah, I just logged in.
Enrique,
What's that, Enrique? You can just go buzz.
buzz,
Buzz.
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 Okay. We heard one from Todd. What is the loop that comes after 3?
What is 4?
More specifically.
Sorry,
I-
the answer we were looking for is what is the for loop?
Yeah, well, no, I was going to say, you got to take the same classes as my daughter, which is to explain to her that you have to repeat the question when you have the answer. I guess.
Staple. Like, there's things that we want to add to this. Damien's created this on GitHub, so it's an open source project. So we'd be looking for contributors to solidify the WebSocket connection, build this in a framework other than Angular, and
It is not in Angular.
I know we got to build it properly,
Sure.
and then add features like daily.
On this canal, close to the shopping center where Best Buy and McDonald's used to be on 441 in Boca.
Okay.
You know, another use for that. My wife works at a school where the students during PE, when they're outside, they'll run around and catch the iguanas, and then they'll hold them, and they'll hold them. They had to tell them that they're not allowed to bring the iguanas into class because they would carry them all day with the tail whipping them. They'd put it under their shirt because they were taking them home for dinner.
In there.
Delicious.
Is that true?
I kid you not. They had to actually make a rule at the school that they're not allowed to have iguanas in class. Because the kids would
There was,
literally.
there was an exotics meat guy out of California that they did an article on him. He was moving to South Florida because the number one meat that he was selling was iguana meat, and it was a thing here that he was going to come to South Florida to catch iguanas and process the meat to sell them. So it is a thing.
I wonder
Here's
what
the thing.
meat tastes.
Only one way to find out, right?
And I bet, and since it's wild, like most games, I've never tried them. Might taste a little chewy.
Can you use him?
Yeah, now.
Oh, okay. Wonderful. Sorry about that. It sounded I was seeing you guys for a while, and it looks like it was just the my Mac was having some trouble here. I'm on a different computer. So I appreciate what was said a little bit earlier as far as the code. It's too bad that all this work, it didn't go as well thanks to the internet. But the code is available at the Damien on the GitHub under game.bocajs.org. Similar to the address that you're going to, you'll find over here on the game.js is where there is sort of the game and the WebSockets. Everything's built on WebSockets. That's what makes it work. There is some kind of bug in it. Other things that are built with WebSockets don't have this bug where I refresh the page, or it seems to refresh the page automatically. I think that seems to be something that has to do with perhaps cache or something like that, but we'll find out exactly what that is. Now, so feel free to go there. I'll post it up on the discussion board of today's event in just a minute. But Zach, you were talking. I'm sorry, James. You were talking about your iguana tracker. Is it here under your GitHub, or will it be in the future?
It will be posted on the future. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I should use Angular or Embassy for the UI presentation.
Nice. Okay.
I'm just developing I've already developed the web API, the data, the business logic, all split into different projects into one solution.
Nice. Perfect. Sounds good. Anybody else want to show off their project, as I have done here, and Zach has talked, James has talked about his?
Yeah, I've got React questions if we want to move into that.
Sure.
All right, so riddle me this.
Genie
React
is like,
people.
yes.
All right, riddle me this. I'm gonna share my screen. You're presenting. I can't.
Hold
so
on.
if I have a
Hold
use
on.
effect,
Go ahead.
so if I have a use effect and I only want it to run once, everyone see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have this use effect and I have URL set in here, why do I get that error? Like it's telling me that I should have a dependency of a URL, meaning if the URL changes to rerun this effect, I get that, but I only want this to run once. it tells me, this error tells me to either add the dependency or remove the dependency array. If I remove the
Right.
dependency array, I get an infinite loop.
Right. So I think actually using the URL there is perfect because it'll give you the exact desired effect where it'll run it once, but it won't, as long as URL is not changing, it won't run it again. Having that empty is not really good form. And you have
Why
a
not?
linter that's not letting you do that. I mean, you notice it's compiling just fine, right?
It
But
is. This is a linter.
Yeah, your linter's not liking that. So
Because like another scenario would be if I have in here, for example, of is loading, for example, like
right.
set
Right.
and here is false, right?
Well,
So now this tells me that it doesn't tell me is loading is an issue.
no.
This-
I think because URL is a prop, but you're not listening for that to change, and it's sending it as a dependency to fetch.
Yeah.
But I think
But
it's because it's coming in as a prop. Like if you had URL hard coded, I don't think you'd be like if you just had like let URL equals whatever and had it hard coded. I don't think you'd be getting that. I may be wrong.
Yeah, but this seems to happen where I have multiple use state effects or multiple use state variables in here that this is dependent on. Like, for example, this is loading. Missing dependency of is loading and URL. But I don't ever want to change this in the example if is loading is true or false or not, or if that changes. So
Right.
it doesn't, URL that this example is showing is kind of irrelevant. If there are other things in here that I truly only ever want to run once, why is it forcing me to have that dependency there?
What if you?
I don't know any about React, but it sounds like didn't Todd answer this? It is kind of how to keep state, and it's
What if-
supposed to automatically let you know to rerun this if that changes.
What if you, Jeremy, just to try something, on line 9, like obviously you don't need line 9 and 16 and 5, right? Let's get rid of those, just to put it back to the way it was essentially. What if on line 9, like between lines 8 and 9, you said like, just say like let my URL equal URL or something like that, right? And then in the fetch there, put my URL. And you're still getting that. Okay. That's odd.
Go back. Let's see what the error is, or the linter message. Excluded and remove the dependency.
Very strange.
Like, regardless of like this particular, if I'm using URL or not, the thing that seems to be interesting to me is like I want to run something only once. When this thing triggers, I want to do that and be done with it. Like there are scenarios where I would I can think of that I only ever wanted to run it once. So the the linting rule makes sense that if I want this to re-update if the URL changes, then I need to make it a dependency. I get that, but I only ever want to run this once.
No, but I think it's following the pattern of the functional programming, right? That you have a function that has external dependencies. It's not the external dependency, the right word for functional programming. But what it's telling you is that you should keep track of that, and it's going to keep track of it for you. So, you know what I mean? I don't see the problem in sort of telling it, okay, I don't really care if it changes, but that is what's coming in, so that is what I should care about if it changes.
I mean, what's cool about doing it this way, Jeremy, is this way you can call this component with any URL and it will run with that URL, even if it's run before. So it makes it a little more reusable.
Yeah, this is how I'm using it, and this is what we were talking about before the start of the meetup. I got this to work with generics, and if we console log items, so I know it's an array because it's a list there, but data is a fetch API fetch state, which gives me back data, which gives me an API list, which gives me where all that stuff go. I messed something up there, but the endpoint. So this is that TypeScript that I was talking about. I'm trying to put in that type safety and get all of this, showing the right data type when hovering over, and thus getting the right.
But you're not doing it here,
types.
right? You haven't defined what use fetch will reply.
Yeah, I did.
You did generics. Yeah, but that's anything. You didn't specify specifically what it's going to reply.
That's what this is.
Okay. And what does API list look like? And in data?
API data.
You go back to API. Okay. So use API data. Go back to the scroll up to. Okay, you're right. It's API list response. Okay, and does API list response go back to what you were doing there? API list response.
The thing is, for some reason, this was working just a little while ago, but I'm not getting the auto completion for API list.
Right.
The API list is an API list response, which is API data.
Oh, is it because you need to specify the element to do that? Like that, it's an array.
Oh yeah.
It's an array.
Point.
Yeah.
That's why it was working before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Take that. Ha! It works.
Very nice stuff.
Coming in clutch with the TypeScript here.
Damn.
So this took me all day to figure out. Like trying to understand generics and trying to figure out how to wrangle this part right here together to spit out what I want. Now that I've wrapped my head around it, now that I have a working example, oh man, generics are the bee's knees. They're a lot to get like your head wrapped around, but I'm liking it.
Jeremy, generics is what we use when we have type definition code.
It's also what we use when you can't afford name brands.
That's right. Exactly. But you're kind of defeating the purpose of generics of type safety.
Why?
Because
it's like use fetch in two different scenarios, and I have two different API responses.
The other way to do it would be a base class, right? So I think what you're doing is generics are the way in Java and in C# to solve the problem that we are type safety, but all of a sudden we need to not be type safety and be able to allow anything to be in there.
Well, but the problem I'm solving, Damien, is I have a generic use fetch hook, and I'm going to be pulling from API endpoint A, B, and C. They're all going to have their own different data. So use fetch hook now takes a generic, which allows me to define what the type is I'm expecting back.
Yes.
Yeah, it's pretty sexy, and it's.
So yeah, once I nailed this down, I just don't understand why this is there, because it's like if I only want it to run once,
you take out the parameter. Take out the parameter.
What that is. Yeah.
Take it out.
But if you take that out, if you take it out, then it will run on every refresh.
I understand. Okay.
So now it's just going to be like, you see that, yeah, because it's running no matter, even if nothing changes. So you need to tell it, you need to pass it something in there, right? And you need to, basically pass it something that's not changing, so it'll only run once, and the URL is
And you-
not changing. So,
Correct.
and it makes sense, Jeremy, to pass the URL in there for this generic, because if you change the URL, which is something you're able to pass in, then, you know, and here's the case, like base URL versus inventory, right? Those are two different URLs. So you want to tell this like only rerun if the URL changes, right?
But aren't these separate instances of use fetch? So they're being called separately once?
Yes.
It's not the same instance of use fetch. They're two separate instances.
Right, but I think this is just
The
the safest
URL
way
is
to
a
do it.
local variable. It's not.
Yeah.
It's Todd's right. It's not going to change locally in that instance.
No,
Right.
I mean Jeremy's right. He's saying it's two different instances. It's not that right. It's not going to change. Yeah, we're all right. But it's. I think it's just better practice. Like, I don't know what linter is saying that. Like, I think it's okay to leave it empty. But
Right. But there are plenty of scenarios where I just want to run something once, and it
Right.
might have they might have set state inside there or referring to
I
a
think-
variable outside.
I mean, I literally think in the React documents it says to use an empty array there, like
That's
you did.
what I've read.
So what I'm saying is, I think the linter is wrong. Personally,
Okay.
somebody
I'm
made
okay with that answer.
somebody put put this constraint on the linter, but I don't necessarily think. Look, Damien's got two dogs kissing him.
Yes.
I don't
know.
think that the linter is right in this case, but
Okay.
I mean, I disagree with linters all the time, but they're highly opinionated. I'm highly opinionated. That's why I don't love linters, because they tend to not have the same opinions as I do.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would answer my question. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump, guys. But Damien, that was awesome. That was my second demo of the Jeopardy game. The first was we had it on a big 75-inch screen at BocaJS.
That was amazing.
And yeah, that was really fun. It's too bad it wasn't a touchscreen. Next year we'll get the touchscreen going.
Looking forward to it. That was absolutely awesome. Thank you everybody for playing along with this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like the concept of a video game show, and what you get from it, and being able to interact with others, let me know. I'm always excited to see people talk and present. Genius is your chance. Todd's presented about 30,000 times, and I love each one of them. But so like we said, Genius